headlines. President of the Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, lauded the performance of the region. And from abroad, Nigeria Army releases 183 detained children. Hello viewers, I'm Addis Ababa. Now the news in detail. President of the Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, said the region has performed well despite facing various security challenges this fiscal year. Chafe Oromia in its second day session has discussed various regional issues. Oluma Abbaina reports.
The 8th regular meeting of the 5th Chafe third working year has been underway. On the meeting, President of Oromia Regional State, Lamma Magarsa, responded for questions raised from the members on various issues. He said security challenges that have been testing the region are being minimized through the effort of the entire people.
Rakkoon nageenyaa keenya rakkoo tokko lama miti. Waan baay'ee wajjinii walitti hidhata. Keessoon keenya rakkoo nageenyaa hin qaba. Daangaan keenya rakkoo nageenyaa hin qaba.
Our security problems are multi-directional. It has connections with many things. We do have security challenges both on the border and in the center of the region, but we have been improving it from time to time. At least we are not collecting the bodies of our people from streets like that of the past 2 to 3 years. This is the effort of our people. However, it has been changing its nature. These days, it begins to be sponsored, so everybody should be the guard of security.
The President has also briefed the limitations that has been seen concerning districts' budgets.
Ana waan ta'eef maqaa wal qixaa aangoo wal qixaa waan qabuuf qofa ton ta'in aanaan ganda baay'ina gandaati wal caala aanaan hundumtiyyuu bu'uuraalee misoomaa wal qixaa hin qabu.
Budgets allocated for districts should be based on the background effort of districts. All districts are not equal. For instance, they do not have equal infrastructure development, access chance, and resources. Therefore, this should be identified first. Budget limitations are always there. The question is how to manage it.
He also said agriculture is the backbone of the region and the country in general, adding reducing factors that has been hindering the product and the productivity of agriculture is crucial issue.
Akka biyyattis bu'uurri dinagdee keenya qonna keenyadha. Hojiidhuma keenya keessaayyuu dhibbeentaan 50 ol hojii nuti hojjennu hojii qonnaati.
The base of our economy is agriculture. 50% of our work is also based on agriculture. Although there are basic improvements in our region, we don't have brought significant changes on the agriculture. This is due to some factors like lack of utilization of modern mechanization and technology in agriculture. There are also structural problems, so this all should be improved so as to enhance agricultural productivity.
He also said enhancing the expansion of infrastructure should be strengthened in order to minimize challenges of people step by step.
Well, our reporter Mukhtar Haji was attending the session and is now with us to tell us more about the session, and let's stay with him for a couple of minutes. Thanks for joining us, Mukhtar. What were the main points raised during the session?
Thank you, Adisu. As you have said, the 5th Chafe third working years regular session has started since before studies at Galma Bagada Chafe Convention Hall. And the first day, President of the Oromia Regional State, Honorary Dr. His Excellency Lamma Magarsa, has presented the annual report of the executive body of the region. And after that, members of the Chafe were reacted to the reports of the President, and the President has responded to the questions and ideas raised by the members of the Chafe. And in his answer, the President has stressed that, especially the issue of security and the peace of the region. And the President said the harmony and the mutual relationship between the Oromo peoples and the other nationalities and the people living in the region and bordering the regions are very critical to minimize tensions and challenges that are occurring around the border of the region. And the other thing that the President has critically focused is the issue of agriculture of the region. The President said the agriculture of the region, especially the agricultural sector, needs extra review, and the President said the government is ready to make the agricultural sector of the region more sophisticated, that helped by different technologies, just to make it mechanized and modernized agriculture, because the economy of this region and as well the economy of this country is based on agriculture. Because of that, the President said our agriculture must be modernized. And the other is different reports that have presented to the session, that means to the members of Chafe. Among them, the other is the annual report is presented by the President of Supreme Court of the region. His Excellency Dasa Bulcha has presented his annual report concerning the courts in the region, and members of the Chafe were also reacted to the reports, and that report has also endorsed by Chafe, similar as the report of the President. Then after, the report by the Office of Auditor General has also presented to the Chafe, and next to that, report by the Office of Chafe has also presented, and all reports were endorsed by members of Chafe, finally. And the big issue that presented to the Chafe is the issue of budget of the 2018-19 fiscal year of the region. Accordingly, over 63 billion Ethiopian birr has allocated for the region, and among them, of course, the budget has divided for different purposes, and accordingly, 14.2 billion birr has allocated for the capital budget, and as well as 12.2 billion birr for revolving budgets of the region, and as well over 36 billion birr has allocated for towns and districts in the region. At the same time, about 500 million birr has allocated for contingency budget of the year, and these are the main events that happened during the session of the 5th Chafe third working years as regular session. The other thing is the react of the office, the head of the Office of Central, the Central Office of PDO, head of the Central Office of PDO, Adanich Abeebe, has also reacted to the questions from the members of Chafe. Adanich said that the issue of Afan Oromo to be a federal working language is critical, and her government and party has been working critically just to make the language the federal working language. And the other is the issue of the Oromia special benefit from Finfinne City, which was raised by the Adanich Abeebe. Adanich said drafts has finalized by the government of the Oromia regional state and sent to the House of People's Representative to be endorsed. So these are the main events that happened during the 5th Chafe third working years as a regular session.
And actually, the public loss is great to achieve the plan that have been or that is going to be done next year. And thank you for telling us more about the session, Mukhtar.
You too, thank you very much.
And have a nice day. Well, our viewers, let's proceed to the remaining news. The Oromia Justice Bureau has presented its work performance of the just concluded fiscal year and to the 2018-19 work plan to the Chafe. Members of the Chafe Oromia reacted on the Bureau's report. Sorecha Kabanicha brings us the detail.
Chafe Oromia in this 5th annual session third working year as a regular session has evaluated the work performance of the Oromia Justice Bureau. On the session, President of Oromia Supreme Court, Dasa Bulcha, presented the annual report of the Bureau, and the members of Chafe asked various questions and discussed issues have to be improved in the justice system. Dasa Bulcha in his report disclosed that to bring transparency in the justice system, a lot of measurement has been taken, especially judges who have problems were fired from work. He added managerial measurement will be taken on the individual who has committed the same problem in the future. Members of Caffee Oromia asked different questions on the presented report. In your report, you said that judges who works corruption were fired. My question is, if the fired judge not asked by the law, we can say that these measurements were taken because after he left his job, he started working as a legal advisor or attorney. So individuals should ask by the law. They have been brought to the court, she said.
Abba sila hakakabufin gulam. Abba shirasani gulamechu.
My question is about justice system in Western Armageddon. Justice system in the Don still have a lot of problems because our people still getting the service in corruption. They sell their camels and oxen to buy the justice service. The problem is not only at district and town level. The problem is the same at zonal level. So the government should have to work attentively on the matter. The Cafe in his last season ordered the Supreme Court to present their report in a different way, in a way that's relevant to the service of the court. But they never provide what they ordered. So why they not provide it? Because the service provided by the court is different from other bureaus and sector.
President of Oromia Supreme Court, while reacting to the members' question, said that lack of qualified professionals is a challenging problem in the service, and it has been worked to solve these and related problems. He underscored that in the process of transferring the service given in the sector to the technologically supported service, a lot of issues has been worked and improved in the coming fiscal year.
The Oromia Auditor General has presented the 2018 work performance and the 2018-19 work plan to Cafe and discussed. Leta Teresa reports.
The Oromia Auditor General Office has presented its annual report to members of the Cafe. Head of the office, Elema Kampe, who presented the report, emphasized that the office was able to achieve more than 90% of its plan. The head said resource management and financial administration in government sectors has shown progress in this year compared to last fiscal year. In 2017-18 fiscal year, the way of resource management and the financial administration in government bureaus is being improved compared to the last year. He also reacted to the questions raised from members of the Cafe concerning the report. Previously, there were no more than 12 bureaus that have no any problems with their financial administration and use the budget properly. But this year, their number has reached 42. That means it is grown up to 12 up to 30% from 8%. Previously, there were about more than 10 up to 20 bureaus whose financial was not managed properly. But this year, there were reduced to 5. In his response, Elema stressed the importance to work with due attention on government revenue so as to alleviate financial extravagancy. Regarding development projects, the head emphasized that due concern should be given to quality.
The news comes to you from Oromia Broadcasting Network, Voice for the People. Let's proceed to the remaining news. World Bank says it wants to support Ethiopia in achieving its development objective. Olkaba Wandemo presents Inas file.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed met with Hafiz Ghanam, World Bank Regional Vice President for Africa here in Finfinne City. During the meeting, the two discussed how the World Bank can support Ethiopia in achieving its development objectives. Mr. Hafiz Ghanam said World Bank wants to support Ethiopia in advancing its irrigation farming.
The Prime Minister is very interested in agriculture and irrigation to ensure food security and to fight poverty. And we have a big agriculture program that the World Bank is supporting. supporting with the government of Ethiopia, and we talked about that and how important that is. We also talked about the youth of Ethiopia and how to invest in Ethiopians through education, strengthening the education program and the World Bank projects in education. Finally, we also talked in the future about the importance of the digital economy and the importance of helping Ethiopia leapfrog into high technology and the digital economy, and what the World Bank can bring and how we can support his efforts in that direction.
Ghanem says Ethiopia has a great value to World Bank.
This first trip to be here in Ethiopia to indicate how important Ethiopia is for the World Bank and how much we value our partnership with Ethiopia and how much we value the reforms and the efforts and the energy of the Prime Minister and what he is trying to do. So we in our meeting, we went through the World Bank's projects in Ethiopia, and we talked about the future and how we can support the growth and development in the country.
World Bank's International Development Association net overall commitments to Ethiopia stand $10 billion, making Ethiopia one of the largest beneficiaries, according to Fitsum Maragga, Chief of Staff of Ethiopia Prime Minister Office. Ghanem also held talk with Minister of Finance and Economic Cooperation, Dr. Abraham Takasta. Dr. Abraham on the occasion briefed the Vice President on socio-economic growth registered in Ethiopia in the past years.
Your TV channel is on Oromia Broadcasting Network, watching English news. Let's proceed to foreign news. Nigeria's armed forces have released 183 children who were being held on suspicion of having ties to militant Islamist group Boko Haram. The 175 boys and 8 girls, whose ages ranged from 8 to 18 years, were freed in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, after being cleared of any association with the group. The Nigerian Office of the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, says it will work with the Borno government to support the children. After receiving medical and psychosocial assistance, the children will be reunited with their families. Nigeria's government has been criticized for detaining children in the past. In 2016, rights group Amnesty International alleged that 149 people, including 11 children and babies as young as 5 months, died in a detention facility in Maiduguri, BBC reported. That brings us to the end for the edition. Thank you for watching and have a nice time with the remaining OBN's Voice for the People's programs.